This segment is sponsored by Ask Childhood Cancer Foundation.
We're joined today by Amy Godkin. She's Executive Director of Ask Childhood Cancer Foundation. Amy, it's wonderful to see you.
Wonderful to see you too. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. Ask does such great work in the community, and even during the best of times when we were used to more of a normalcy, things were incredibly challenging. There was a lot of work to be done, but we're talking today about how COVID is impacting children with cancer in our community and how Ask Childhood Cancer Foundation is supporting them and families really during an even more challenging time.
Right, absolutely. Unfortunately, cancer has not stopped during COVID. We've had 41 kids diagnosed with cancer right here in our community since COVID hit back in March. And so in total, we've got about 100 families with a child on active treatment right now. And I can't even imagine dealing with that difficult diagnosis and taking care of a child with cancer with everything else going on right now and all the challenges that come with this year.
Amy, those statistics are impactful. Before we go too much farther, let's remind everybody what Ask Childhood Cancer Foundation delivers in this community. What is this organization all about?
Sure. Ask is a local nonprofit, and we are dedicated to providing support services for kids with cancer and their families from the moment of diagnosis all the way through treatment and beyond.
This can range from a variety of different ways of supporting those children that are diagnosed and their families.
Right, absolutely. So our support starts down at the Children's Hospital of Richmond at VCU, and that is the only place for kids to be treated for cancer here in our community. We've been partnering with them for over 45 years now. We fund several members of their psychosocial team, their child life specialist, one of their psychologists, and their chaplain. And so we want to make sure that from the minute those kids are diagnosed, they're receiving that support, a supportive care to complement the great medical care that they're receiving. And then we extend that support outside of the hospital setting, financial assistance for families, because we know that they're going to, be struggling more to pay the bills during treatment. We do a lot in the area of education because we know between missed school days and cognitive and physical late effects from treatment that our kids are more likely to fall behind in school than their peers. And then just providing opportunities for that social connection, for them to meet other kids who understand what they're going through because they've been through the same thing. And aren't going to ask questions, but just be there to be supportive.
These services, Amy, that Ask Childhood Cancer Foundation provides, as we just heard, are in hospital and outside of the hospital. They're demanding anyway, but now, given the times that we're in, these services in hospital have gotten to be even more challenging.
Right, absolutely. So I think we really worry about our patients. There's just, the hospitals have to be very cautious right now. They're limiting the number of visitors that come down. So, kids, I think, can only bring one family member with them. And that makes it hard on the parents trying to figure out who's going to go and who's going to stay home with the other kids. And then it just means there's fewer folks around them to support the kids in treatment. Our psychosocial team, continues to do the best they can under the conditions. So some of the things we'd normally be able to offer in terms of like toys or art supplies and that kind of thing, they just can't be have as many of that stuff out right now because of the possibility of spreading germs and spreading COVID. So they're doing the best they can down there with the conditions that we have right now.
We have about a minute left, Amy. I want to ask a couple more questions. One, are there silver linings? We've talked at great length about how difficult it has been. Has there been things that have risen to the surface as silver linings or positives?
Absolutely. The psychology team that we help support has quickly pivoted to telehealth because they had to. But the cool thing about that is that we've seen kids they are showing up for appointments at this rate or even better than before. They are more relaxed because they're at home surrounded by their stuffed animals and they are have an easier time talking to the psychologist. So that's been great. And switching to virtual format for our social connections, we found that we can include patients who would normally not be able to come to a party, but they can log online and get that social interaction. So that's been great as well.
So engagement, you've seen it both from the services being received and certainly from folks interested in supporting. Next question for you. There are so many incredible events that Ask Childhood Cancer Foundation hosts throughout the year, throughout a typical year. That's changed. Those special events are of big impact because that generates a lot of the support, but that has changed. So you've had some community partners step forward who have been able to really lend a hand.
Right, absolutely. It's been, I mean, it was a scary time when, when COVID first hit, we had to cancel our two largest fundraisers, and you just, don't know how you're going to make that up. And so to see folks that step up, one of the cool new partners is Midas of Richmond. I mean, to have them take us on as a new charity partner during the pandemic is pretty amazing. And so we've been working closely with them this fall.
It makes all the difference. And as those events that typically would have been held are on hold for now, it's important for folks to realize that the work that's being done is really supported so much by donations. And that's really at critical need at this point.
Right, absolutely. I mean, I would still ask, those in the community, if you want to help, we general donations right now are a huge help to keep our programs running until we can do events again. So I hope people will consider supporting us right now.
Absolutely. Amy Godkin with Ask Childhood Cancer Foundation. Thank you so much for making time and sharing some silver linings too.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. Have a great day.
Absolutely. Some incredible work being done in this community by Ask Childhood Cancer Foundation. We'll share the information so that folks watching today can learn more.
Ask Childhood Cancer Foundation is located at 5211 West Broad Street, Suite 102, right here in Richmond. For more information, give them a call at 804-658-5910 or visit them online at askccf.org. And stay tuned, there's a lot more Virginia This Morning to enjoy right after a quick break.